I hope you're ready because we got the first game of Polaris 2023 heading your way, and it's going to be FOKUS against HSDIRR. Now, MP, question is, are you ready?
I am ready, and once again, let's bring it up. Like HSDIRR, they have been around for ages. Yeah, they were cool for a short while, but still, I don't know how to pronounce. I think I even played against them like back in the day, but still, I don't know how to pronounce. But I'm ready for this matchup. I think it's gonna be a real interesting one, and just kick it off with this matchup. Kick off the new meta. I think I'm so interested to see where these teams are gonna take these matchups.
Back in the day, before your hopes and dreams shattered of becoming a professional player. Okay, anyway.
You don't have to go there.
Okay, you're a caster for a reason, okay? I'm just saying. I am just saying. Anyway, FOKUS, though. I think that's a team that a lot of people are looking forward to seeing compete. We haven't seen them as of yet in Polaris, but because of the rules MP of having a certain amount of players having to be from a certain nationality, FOKUS has now joined Polaris. They were a team that was invited, and I think something that everyone was a little shocked by, I saw a lot of Twitter memes, was the fact that they beat Cloud9 in Red Bull home grounds, considering that, you know, Cloud9, it's a pretty good team.
Yeah, and even before that, they played this Finnish tournament with like their exact lineup, and they lost against only Finns, which is like a really good in the Finnish scene, but in like the national scene, I think it's not on the level of FOKUS. And I was like, wait, what is this roster? They lost against only Finns in the grand finals, and then they go against Cloud9 and win against this monster roster who has CJ there. I was like, okay, FOKUS, they have something in store. Sure, it's with Iluri, it's not with Purple. So I'm excited to see what Purple has in store. I'm also excited the dynamic that they have here, because I think it's real interesting, because Purple has been playing that Jet quite a lot, and Yugi is the main duelist for this roster. So it's going to be real interesting to see whether Purple is actually going to go for the Cypher, for that Sentinel, because he used to be Sentinel main, like back in the day. But I'm really curious about how the dynamic in this team is going to go.
Yeah, especially looking at FOKUS as well, and the way that they've played in Red Bull home grounds. As you mentioned, Iluri was the one who was playing instead of Purple, so this is going to be like the addition to the team that we might not have witnessed as of yet. Again, a little bit of changes in terms of the dynamic when it comes to who goes on to what role. And I think in general, when we're looking at the teams that we have here today, we're not very much able to decide as of yet who decides to go on what role, simply because we do not have a lot of data. Because we're looking at FOKUS, yes, they have played in Red Bull home grounds, but as you said, it wasn't the full roster. Then you flip it around, and we're going to be looking at the second team, HSDIRR. We've seen Vicious, we've seen Ale, we know what they play, we know what agents they like to go for, but then when we're looking at Fred and Lear and Lynxy, how does this slot in together, considering we've only seen like, what, 6 games?
Yeah, and I mean, they have an interesting dynamic as well, as like Ale is a really heavy flex player, but he used to be like really heavy race main, used to play that race. Then you have Lear, who is most like the duelist, but then you have Fredan, who is like a ranked demon, actually really strong with that Jet in ranked, but he has been playing Soul of Fate, that initiator role. So it's really interesting where this is gonna go, especially that now that the chamber is out of the meta, so you don't really want to play the double duelist, as I think it's not as strong in this meta. You just want to go for that Sentinel, and because you don't have that chamber, I mean, I can't chamber as a duelist, but because you don't have that chamber, I think it's really hard to go for that double duelist. So it kind of messes up this team composition as well, in my opinion, but I think they can make it work, especially if Fredan actually sticks with the initiator role. I'm really interested to see whether he's gonna go for that. It's really new name for me, and I think most of these people, I don't think Fredan has been in the scene previously to this team.
Yeah, and I think that also is kind of one of the points to highlight when we're looking at these teams. There's quite a mix in terms of the experience. So we're looking at Fredan, someone who's very comfortable playing comp, but how does that slot into that team environment? Whereas when we're looking at FOKUS, they've been playing together for quite a while. They've even had that opportunity to play on a LAN in Manchester in the UK. So they've had a bit more of that bonding experience. Has HSDIRR had that experience of playing together in the same room, being in the same place at the same time? Has it all been online? Has it just been scrims? And I think, again, that's something that is going to be highlighted today.
Yeah, I mean, you have the duo, like we highlighted previously, Ale and Vicious. Then you have these players, Lear and Lynxy. They have played against each other multiple times, but the synergy might not be there as well as in FOKUS. And I think that highlights in the talent prediction as well. Like a lot of the people are heavily favoring FOKUS. They have a good talent there backing them as well as coaches and analysts. Obviously, HSDIRR, they have Jumpy as a coach as well, who is seen as an Excel coach last season, and that worked really well for them. But I think it's going to be real interesting. One of the players, or a few of the players I want to highlight here, is Purpo from FOKUS and Lynxy from HSDIRR. Purpo, because he used to play for Mech as a substitute, and we actually saw one game where he brought himself in Mech's roster for the final of last chance qualifier in EMEA. Purpo had not the best experience there. He picked up the jet, but didn't quite get on his level. But I think that experience, just playing on that high level, was enough for Purpo to get that confidence down when we come to the tier 2 level. And I'm excited to see what Purpo can do. I'm really excited to see whether he's going to go for that jet. Is he going to go back to that sentinel role, or what he's going to be picking? But on the other side, you have Lynxy once again. One of these Cypher players who have been choked out by the chamber meta, and I think Lynxy from his previous teams, I think it was a lot of the time Lynxy had to flex on different roles. There were many best of fives where Lynxy would play 4 different agents across multiple roles, which was really rough for him. And I would love to see Lynxy sticking up to 2 different agents, maybe here, just focusing up down to one role and being able to just freely express himself on the server.
Yeah, and I think that mix of experience, but also the fact that they have players who can play multiple different roles. Again, focusing on a couple of agents, focusing on one role is going to be crucial. But if anything, it's also going to be crucial to determining what maps they feel most comfortable with, because a certain playstyle will probably ride a little better on certain maps than others. And again, as we mentioned, FOKUS, yes, we have some data on this team, considering that they've competed before. Again, maybe not the whole 5-man roster. But then we're looking at HSDIRR. They've only played like 6 games, and it feels like they're kind of leaning more heavily towards Pearl. So is that something that you are expecting to see? Do you think Pearl, first game of Polaris is going to be Pearl?
That could be a thing. That could be a thing, but I'm not quite sure whether FOKUS wants to go there. Maybe. They have played the Pearl as well, but it's hard to say anything because when they played Pearl, they were playing with Iluri, the Finnish demon, obviously. Everyone who's from Finland is a demon, right? So it's really hard to say where they want to get. Okay, that was just unnecessary right there. That was just unnecessary.
I take it back.
At least I have won against one of these players in Polaris, so let's not name him, but that's a big
name and shame.
I have
name
ever
and shame. Come on,
in my career.
I would name and shame. I would put it in my Twitter bio.
Maybe tomorrow, stay tuned. But yeah, it's really hard to say anything about the maps. HSDIRR, they definitely want to go with the Pearl. If you look at the statistic, they have played 50% of Pearl out of their 6 maps. And they actually have had pretty decent results there. Obviously, it's been over 2 months from the last time that they played. So they could have pretty much just built a new map pool, built a better pool for this new meta, and not play that chamber, not play that Pearl at all.
Map Ocean. Because like you have a map away. Yeah, like a few maps, and then you have a map Ocean. It's like, wow, you can play like all the maps? That's crazy. Well, Pearl, yo, who guessed it? We're decent at our jobs and we got it right. Pearl is gonna be the first map in Polaris, and it's actually also, we got it correct. It's gonna be selected by HSDIRR. They feel comfortable on that map and it shows. FOKUS is going for Ascent, and we have Haven as a decider. I think the fact that Ascent and Haven are in the mix is very much a testament to how a lot of these teams are still kind of, getting used to each other, getting used to the new setup, getting used to the new roles, new teams, and therefore you pick something a little bit more default, something that you have a lot of experience on already.
Oh yeah, for sure. Ascent should be one of the easiest maps to play, like default, play with a new mix. That's really heavily favored for mixed teams. Also Haven, I think you can definitely run a mixed stack in Haven and perform really well. But I'm just interested to see whether we're going to see like these triple initiator comps that we saw in Champs, or maybe just a little bit of these funky setups. I hope a lot of Killjoys, maybe
Why?
even that Cypher coming in. I think that would be great. Just don't get that Chamber, okay?
Yeah, I think Chamber is not going to be an agent that any of these teams are going to be picking up. I think Cypher, however, that's definitely going to be one of the agents to look out for. I think Killjoy, you're absolutely right. As much as, I'm questioning why, I think just the changes to Killjoy have been so instrumental in making her very viable on a lot of different maps. And again, teams love to play with it. And then you're looking, as you mentioned earlier, as well, MP, a little shift in the meta. So therefore, things are always changing.
Yeah, they absolutely are, and I'm so excited to see what comps we have going on. I don't think we're gonna get any wild things, even in Pearl Harbor, maybe.
Please no.
I just don't think we're gonna see that, but that would be interesting. Because like you talked about, most of these teams, they are new teams. Yeah, they might have a duo that has stuck together, but you have to still build up that core. You still have to build up that synergy. So you're not going to dive too deep in that map pool. You just want to get like 3 maps down pretty decently, and then start focusing more on like the larger scale of map pool. And obviously you have Bind and Breeze exiting out of the map pool in like 3 weeks, so you don't really want to put any focus in there, and you already see them getting banned in this map veto phases.
Yeah, and also Pearl is no, Lotus. That's actually one to take also into consideration because there's a lot of change in the last 6 months. Wow, it's been a while. But yeah, Lotus is again one of the maps that you want to take into consideration. It's not going to be here today, so if anyone's like wondering why Lotus was not in that map veto, it's not going to be online for competitive play until next month. So to be fair, that's like 2.5 weeks from now, so you don't have to miss out on it too much. But all in all, I think that's something also to highlight. When we're looking at Pearl, however, especially for HSDIRR, they really like running Fade, they like the Astra, the Viper, the Neon, and the Chamber. So considering these changes here, are we still expecting the Neon and the Chamber, or do you think that Lynxie is going to be put on a different agent simply because the Chamber is Chamber?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're gonna see Chamber, but I don't necessarily see any issues going with this comp alongside Chamber. I think Astra, you have to pick that. Fade as well, it's instrumental. The Viper is a question mark. Some of the teams don't like to pick it, but it helps so much on the attacking side, just getting control of things. You have that second controller. But I think in addition of these, you should probably get a Cypher there. I think Lynxie, maybe going for that Cypher. I would hope so, because he has played it previously. Yeah, sure, it's been a while that Lynxie has mained Cypher, but still it's the most played agent for him in VALORANT.GG. So I wouldn't necessarily say that it would be a bad thing to bring it back. I think it would probably be a great thing, actually.
Yeah, and it's like riding a bicycle, right? Like, you've played it before, you know some of the setups, you'll just be able to replicate them once again, but we don't have to ponder any longer because we have the agents ready for selection, and it's actually the Killjoy. We have Jet coming out from HSD rather than the Neon. There's KO. It feels like they have completely switched up their composition besides the Fade and the Astra, whereas when we're looking at FOKUS, it's a little bit of a mirror comp, but they do have the Sova in there.
Yeah, this is actually really interesting. I would have wished more for the Cypher, but I guess it's not like it's not comfortable for Lynxie, or then it's just like none of these others want to pick that Astra, so Lynx is like, okay, I guess I'll go to Astra, and Fredan has to go for the Killjoy. I don't think we have seen this Killjoy from Fredan. It's going to be interesting. He used to play that Initiator for the past, I think, 6 games that he played. So Killjoy is definitely new. Lime getting on Killjoy, I think that's pretty new for me as well. Yeah, really interesting to see how this is gonna work. You have some good ult setups coming, especially in a long, but I'm interested to see how they're gonna work that Killjoy, especially on the attacking side.
Yeah, a lot of setups potentially that we're going to be looking at, especially for the Killjoy, just the utils make her so useful. But all in all, we're going to be heading into the first game. And the ID is wrong. It's not Apex, guys. I just want to highlight that. It is
HSDIRR. That's how Finnish would pronounce that.
HSDIRR. Okay. Already some action. Onto B side. One way. Jiggy gets the first pick. No trade as of yet.
Yeah, and they just want to control that mid B link area. It seems like they want to actually go for the flank, but deciding not to go for it, just 4 stacking link, and it's going to be real real hard if they want to retake, but actually one of the players grouping up with KP set. 4vs5 situation for HSDIRR, and they just have to hold, they just have to play these contacts.
FOKUS is looking to get for that retake. Initial contact made. Jugi finds another pick already. Players are going down, but Lynx and Ali clap back immediately. The trades are coming in. Your boy Lewis finds one, Lime finds another, and that way, easy defuse.
Fairly quick retake coming in, and they actually get the defuse down. Lewis finishing it up with the 7 seconds on the clock, and FOKUS starting strong with the first pistol round down. I'm sorry guys, there's some issues for the HUD, but we're on the path to fixing that. Hopefully, maybe next round.
MP is like this tech wizard, so like he's casting and fixing it at the same time.
Yeah, caster fix, please.
Yeah, caster fix hood.
That's how
there we
it always works. Let's go.
Got it. See, MP, thank you.
No worries, no worries. I got it. Yugi, going for rifle. Okay. I like this. This is dangerous. Dangerous buy. Because it could backfire if you lose the rifle and the name gets it. But I really like it. It reminds me of the FPX tactic. They do not want to go fully for the FPX tactic, to go like double rifle, 3 ghosts, 2 ghosts, or something like that. Just going 1 rifle, and for Spectres being kind of secure that if they lose 1 rifle, they can easily pick it up.
Yeah, we're also seeing more of a cluster towards mid-side. Initial aggression coming out from the side of FOKUS, but as they don't really get too much information, they decide to back off, and now it's on HSD to dictate the pace of this round because they have to get onto sites.
Yeah, and with the lesser weaponry, it's not going to be too easy. 5 serves on the hand, and good separation, but no one's able to pick up Ale right here. He's just going forward by himself. Purple gonna be the first one. Did he spot him? I don't think so.
Oh, I think a couple of warning shots have been fired, and Ali gets the first. Is gonna look to get the second. Unfortunately, doesn't connect, but Purple is the one who comes out on top. As he's looking for the flash, a little bit of a mistiming. Fredden takes up that pick instead, and it's already an advantage from the side of HSD, as they're 4 players against 3. Rifles now are gonna be coming into play from FOKUS. And how is HSD gonna play this post plant is what matters most.
Yeah, they have the numbers advantage, but when you look at the guns, Yugi still having that rifle, that's gonna be doing a lot of work. All 4 players in A main. Do they even expect this?
Shock dart, not gonna do too much, but if anything, it does reveal a couple of these players. Yugi going in hot. Finds 2, Vicious eventually shut him down, but with only 20 HP left. The fuse coming out as well, unfortunately for Fredden. Finds 1, but if anything, Limehead gets to hold on to that Vandal.
Yeah, that's a risky play. Just wrapping around for the side of Lynxy.
Oh, that hurt. But why are we watching this replay?
That fragment. I mean, it's a good trade. It's a good trade. All that Purple gets on backside. FOKUS getting 2-0 down, but they have to save pretty much everything else than Yugi's rifle. If Yugi gets a kill, that's going to be huge, because he can just give the rifle to one of his teammates and go for the Blade Storm, maybe have that extra firepower in this round. But it seems like HSDIRR, they do not want to instantly go to B side, playing a little bit of a default, just trying to pressure that A lobby and gather the control of the orb.
Yeah, there's also no Killjoy set up as of yet. So therefore, they're not going to be walking into that. There you go. You spot the turret. That's 1 player spotted from the side of HSD. And FOKUS, they're playing off of this information. Immediately, you're seeing the 3 players rotate back to A, whereas they still have Yugi on B site. And we have, you know, Kipset just chilling.
Yeah, kind of slow round. But I think it's good for HSDIRR. They do not want to risk anything. They don't want to go too fast, because they know that FOKUS have to go for a save. They might have some kind of sorties, close range weapons. Just grouping up onto B long, and they should be able to win this side. Get to side fairly easily with better weaponry. They all have rifles compared to only 1 rifle on the side of FOKUS.
Yeah, and Jugi does get spotted out with the knife, but not fully aware of their position. Molly's gonna be clearing out the back of sight. 1-way setup, and Ali finds the first pick. Yugi, though, that Vandal doing so much work. 2 players down already. No more flashes, no more jet available for HSD. And also, they might have made it onto site. They might be able to get that plant down, but at what cost? Members are dropping like flies, and that Vandal that they weren't able to get away from FOKUS last round is coming back to bite them.
Yugi, what? 4th one?
Lynxy, this is an ace looking to happen. Lynxy does manage to find 2, and this is where they start peeking him individually. They are yet to pick up the Vandal. 5 bullets left. Finds it 1 player. Only 1 left. Purpo. Couple bullets. He's gonna have to go for that reload. Instead picks up the Vandal. Purpo's on the Frozen Fake. Never mind. Lynxy gets a swing. And what looked like such a good route from FOKUS from the side of Yugi just fell apart in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that's really tough for the side of FOKUS. They had 4 versus 1 situation. I think that's it. Like 4 versus 1, so have to take it carefully, especially in these early rounds where the momentum can shift so easily. Yeah, Yugi getting 4 kills. I mean, it doesn't matter if the enemy team has 5 rifles. If you're not gonna shoot heads with those, Yugi is gonna take the duel and just win them out. Good comeback from the side of Lynxy, just keeping HSDIRR in that round and in this early game, because the 4-0 lead that FOKUS maybe would have gotten after that round would have been so detrimental, maybe.
Yeah, but it was also such an expensive round. You lose every single piece of weaponry that you have. Sure, they're able to buy, but then you're looking at Vicious, has light armor. He doesn't have the Vandal or a Phantom. So all in all, it feels like, yes, they get the round, but what did it cost, you know? What
cost everything.
I knew you were going to say that. At least you're a man of culture. I can respect that.
Absolutely. If you don't know that, shame
Get
on
out.
you. Yeah. But
I mean, shame on you. I think shame on you is nicer to say. I feel like get out's a bit rude.
you can do both.
Okay.
Aggression?
Aggression? Are they trying to do
from
both?
art? Maybe. Maybe. Yugi.
You can decide to back up. Bladestorm, though, however, is online. I think that's quite a huge ultimate to have, and HSD, they're aware of this, and they're waiting for the time ticking. Again, this is 30 seconds on the clock, and they have to commit to a site, and FOKUS is already cleared out B. Nightfall's gonna be invested, but that's the killjoy setup that you still have to go through. You still have to go through those mollies. Lewis finds the first pick. Lyra and Ali find one each. Yugi does get a pick with the Bladestorm, but that's all he's gonna be able to find. Vicious. As much as I said he didn't have ideal weaponry, it doesn't really matter. Guardian comes out on top, and that leaves Lewis all by themselves to clear up his 3 members and a Cosmic Divide. Yeah,
Lime was in a prime position to win out that round. Now it's all about Lewis. I think Lewis is actually FOKUS IGL. 70 HP Vicious Lynxy just holding great angle, both holding for this peak, and Lewis, it's 2 different elevations. Even though the elevation shift isn't too much, still Lewis getting those 2 kills is like what, 1 in 100. It's not gonna be easy. And HSDIRR,
is that like statistically proven?
From me, yeah, right now.
Yo, that's kind of smart.
Yeah, I just quickly calculated and made an Excel sheet, you know.
Oh, it explains the big forehead.
Yo!
Because that's like a really big brain.
yeah, sure. That's
I mean, you're smart, right? Like, you need to be able to put it somewhere. You need to protect it.
That's probably debatable, but I'm happy to agree with that.
Okay. Oh!
Okay.
They'll get spotted out. 1 for 1. Both jets out of the picture. But still, HSD, they're pushing forward. They know that not every single player from the side of FOKUS is here. They find the other anchor on site. Lewis taken out. Sheriff's in hand. Line tries to do something, but unfortunately for them, something is gonna turn into nothing. An ollie through the smoke. Gibbs taken off, and now Purpo with the riot gun buddy. With the Sheriff. With the hopes and dreams. He's gonna try and conquer.
Yeah, it's kind of clean, gun buddy. If you want it,
yeah.
message Junior on Twitter.
Okay, cut the tape.
Free gun buddies there.
Cut the tape.
Purple. Trying to make the best out of this. It's gonna be real rough when the alarm board. Yeah, it spots him. Paul coming in as well. Freden's just there to clean up Purple away, and this is exactly what happens when you go challenging 1 versus 4 situation 1 by 1. All of a sudden, it's not 4-0 to you. It's not even that 3-0 to you. HSDIRR, they have captured this game and got the lead. Sure, FOKUS now coming to the gun round, and Yugi having operator is gonna be a small stepping stone, but they have gained some good momentum and a lockdown here. They should be able to get Lewis's Hunter's Fury out of the situation on the next round.
Yeah, technical pause coming in from FOKUS, but if anything, looking at the ult economy of HSDIRR, they have the lockdown, they have the Bladestorm. Vicious is one orb away from the null command, so they have a lot that they can throw out these rounds individually. Yugi, with the operator, I'm yet to see Yugi be able to take a couple of picks with the operator. Again, I haven't seen him just yet, but so far, getting that early aggression from Yugi has really helped FOKUS in a lot of rounds. He's able to get a lot of picks. I mean, 10 to 5 already. Like, we're 5 rounds in, guys. Come on, what's this guy doing?
Yeah, Yugi popping off. Obviously, that 4K helps him out tremendously. Yes. But you were talking about the ultimates. Vicious one off of that null command. If they can spot out the Sova, if they can get close enough, they could even cancel the Hunter's Fury with the null command. Just invest the lockdown first when you hear that Hunter's Fury. Pull up null command and just cancel that Sova Hunter's Fury, which gains you free sight. It's kind of hard. I think Lewis should be aware of that. Should be knowing that there's a danger of the null command coming in, and I would expect him to play kind of far with the Hunter's Fury, especially at the time when they know where the lockdown is going to be invested.
Yeah, when we're looking at FOKUS and their performance so far, it looks very promising at the beginning of a lot of these rounds, but then it feels like HSDIRR are able to take control of every single round midway through and just flip it on its head. And that's one of the things that FOKUS so far has been struggling with, that's holding on to that lead and continuing it into rounds. At this time, it's not into a game, but it's into a round. And dropping these rounds, having individual performances like Yugi, yes, that's going to help, but having these individual performances secure you some type of lead is not going to be enough. You need every single player to contribute here. And it feels like as of yet on Pearl, FOKUS is really being tested. And it feels like, if anything, HSDIRR knew this, because so far they've been really good at rotating and just catching FOKUS off guard. Whereas FOKUS is like left scrambling for information quite early on. They don't find it. They back off. And that's when HSDIRR is like, okay, we kind of had a feeling that you're going to be splitting up onto B side, A side, and one mid, so we're just going to push onto you.
Yeah, and you were highlighting the individual performances as well, like Yugi getting that 4K, getting a good amount of kills. Like, it's great, but it's not enough. On the other side, you had Lynxy getting that 4K, but then other rounds, other people stepping up as well, which helps them so much more as to one person stepping up. Obviously, Yugi getting that operator into this round is so much more helpful than probably the 10 previous kills, because you can get so much pressure out of one side. You can maybe even anchor a side with that operator if you get good enough positioning. And I think Yugi even getting one pick from far range equals more than one pick. It should be like tremendous. It should be so good when you get that operator pick, especially if it's on that B long spot. It kind of challenged the enemy to be more careful and maybe approach the side differently from B link, or just even going A.
Yeah, and it feels like when we're looking at FOKUS specifically, rather than seeing them play off of each other, rather than seeing them grouped up and taking back site, playing that retake as the amount of people that they have left, whether it's 4 people, 3 people, 5 people, it feels like every single player kind of goes on a little individually. And it could be, you know, it's the first game of the competition, you're a little shaky, you're not entirely sure how you want to approach this potentially. You have a game plan, but having that game plan and executing it in real time is always going to be a little different. So therefore, I think FOKUS right now, it looks like they're a little shaken. They just need to find their footing. They're also the one who called for a technical timeout. So we don't really know what that is. Maybe that's what's impacting this. Whereas when you're looking at HSDIRR, yes, we said it, mixed bag of experience. This team has not really played much together at all. We've seen like a total of 6 games. But if anything, they look like they have Pearl, especially, I guess it explains why it's their map pick, on lock, and they have a certain game plan and they are executing it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like from the previous games, from the small pool of 6 games, or 6 maps rather, the Pearl has been best for them. They won against Teeth, won against Team Divinity. But when we look at the tournament where they played against these teams, it was Red Bull home ground, but it was the qualifier. FOKUS was actually in the main event. So the difference should be already coming from there, especially mentally. You're like, okay, we were playing in this qualifier, but FOKUS was in the main event. Like, can we win this team? But obviously they've been gaining pretty decent momentum after that clutch from Lynxy. So I think that should carry on fairly well. does it carry on after this technical pause? That's a big question, because we have seen, even in Master Stage and Champion Stage, we have seen a lot of these teams get good momentum, but then there's a tactical pause, technical pause, and the momentum doesn't carry on because you kind of slow down. You're like, okay, we're not in this hype moment anymore, and it's hard to get it back.
Yeah, it is indeed. But Yugi, so far on the Jet, I feel like he has been contributing a lot to the momentum of the team. Just as you said it yourself, having some of these clutches coming out in the rounds, he seems to be consistently finding these early picks. But now it's a matter of the rest of the team being able to capitalize off of that and turning those number advantages into an advantage in terms of a round. And even the rounds that they do win, they're not very clean. So we saw in that second round, they come in with that Vandal. They have a couple of Spectres in the mix as well. They lose everything. Yes, and they even win the round, but they only hold on to one Vandal specifically because they're not watching the flank. And one of the players from HSDIRR comes in and just wipes out everything. It was one shot, and that Vandal would have been lost as well. But it didn't happen. But then again, it kind of brings a few questions to their setup on Pearl. How comfortable are they with it, and how comfortable are they with executing it in reality?
Yeah, and one of the things is how comfortable are they using ultimates to secure a round, because right there you had Bladestorm on Yugi. Yugi could have dropped that rifle and gone for the Bladestorm just to secure that round, maybe gone for a dash in if he had one left. But I mean, obviously in that situation, you see like, okay, I've already got 4 kills. I'm going to go for that last one. You kind of overheat. And I think that's a problem in these situations. You should just calm down. I don't really want to fault the guy, because 4 kills. You want to go for the last one. You have the momentum. You're like, I'm popping off. No one can stop me. And the momentum would be crazy after that. But then you die. Your team has only 3 Seraphs going one by one. And it's going to be a rough situation when you lose that round.
I mean, Util was used to clear out the back of the side, so Lynxie was forced into the right corner. But still, if you are peeking that one by one, you are Sheriffs against a Phantom. You didn't go away and pick up the Vandal that was dropped by your teammate. You didn't get the Vandal from Yugi, even though, unfortunately, they're no longer there with you. That round, just that round. And I think that is a little, maybe, pressure. Because as you said it yourself, yes, they qualified for the main event for Red Bull, but I think that was maybe a different thing. Because that's Red Bull home grounds, not to take away. It was an absolute beautiful thing to watch. But here you're playing for these points. And we said it, getting points is quite important. So hitting the ground running from day one, if anything, you should be doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And even maybe that could be what is happening for FOKUS. They are like, okay, we played in this tournament. We won against Cloud9. Who is HSDIRR to go against us? Like, just full jacket. Yeah. But I would imagine it's not like that. But for some teams, that could be a case. And they go without too much of thought in the game. And then they're like, oh, this team is actually good. They won against us, and they're in shambles because they underestimate the opponent, and then all of a sudden they surprise them. That could be happening. I heavily doubt, because I think they have a good coaching staff. They have really solid players who have a solid experience. But I just hope that isn't happening. I hope Yugi, after this timeout, will be able to get back on form again, keep that 10-5 thingy going on, and maybe keep that 2KD till the end of the map. But I think on the other side, it would be nice. On the other side, obviously, you have HSDIRR, who has been gaining that momentum, and I think it's would be a great way to start for them if they would get this win. Because, like we look at Ale and Vicious, they have been those players who have played for Kova on the previous seasons, and they have been always in the middle of the pack. 5th place, 4th place in the last 2 seasons. Yeah. And that would be a great way to start. Maybe push them all the way up to that top 3, get to playoffs, get to these big names like Mystic, Magnum, Enzo, all of those.
I mean, Enzo was in Polaris as well last year. Don't forget that, you can. But if anything, so while we're waiting out for this technical difficulty, maybe somebody's mouse broke. Who knows? Anyway, we're going to be looking at an interview, because the second game today is going to be Vamonos, and they came through the beacon. So let's have a look at what they have to say.
Hey guys, my name is Sig. I'm the IGL of Vamonos.
I'm Vorwin, guys, and I play for Vamonos.
I came into the team rather late. I came as a stand-in for another player.
We started the Beacon circuit a long time ago. It was Krigon, KPZ, myself. We got sick at the end. I was IGLing, I switched off, and then he took the IGL role. I couldn't perform at my best when I was IGLing, so now I can carry some games, you know.
Out of this world! Only 2 players getting taken out with him, but he might as well have a few more. Every single time you come towards B, the beast is lurking, and it is Vorwin.
Since I had to do the IGL role, I had to make some adjustments for the team. We had to get rid of the old custom from the other IGL.
Another game that we qualified against E-Masters. We did not expect E-Masters to be in the upper final. We expected to meet like the Barbers or the Petit Buffons on the key game. The confidence we had in that game was better than we expected, and it helped us do the comeback that we did in the second game.
You do not have time, E-Masters. It's Nille who finds it.
Qualifying for Polaris means a lot, honestly. And the goal for us was not to get any money, not to get any work. Our goal was to not be left out, you know. We just wanted to keep competing, be on the international level and compete every day. And that's what we made.
It's just so surreal to just come into a team and beat all the teams in a straight row and then just qualify.
And Sick is taking names, lives and numbers. Flawless from Vamonos.
There's some really good teams in Polaris. I think it's one of the most stacked regional leagues in Europe right now, if not the most.
I believe that the other teams are gonna give us a hard time in the beginning for sure.
I expect us to be like top 5, 6 at the beginning, and then I hope we can be on the top at the end.
Yo, you heard it here first. Most stacked regionally.
Yeah, absolutely. Every year we say the same. Every year we have, well,
We don't talk
not
about it.
perform.
No, that's it. Every year we say the same. Cut. That's it. End of the sentence. Cut the tape. Rewind.
No, but actually, I think we have always had great talent. We're like really great teams, players, but I think
We
this
have
year
you.
it's more stacked. Huh?
You're so used to getting like hated on that you get a compliment and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah, I mean, Ginny has brought some traumas back back here.
Sorry.
Yo.
Sorry. Okay, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I think we have like a really solid pool of talent right here. Obviously, Apex fully stacked. We were talking about Enzo a little bit. His last name is Mestari, which is like translates to master. Mestari in Finnish is master in English. So I mean, obviously, already from there, then you have Mystic and Magnum. I'm really happy to see Magnum back, especially because the meta is shifting back to Sentinel. I think Magnum was one of those players who was really choked out by the chamber meta, and you've seen him just go from Fnatic. I think he went to Koi, maybe even one team in between that. But I'm really, really happy to see him back in like maybe his place where he wants to be, between or on the side of Mystic, and having Enzo as well, who has experience in Fnatic. And this team looks really, really solid. Shadow coming back as well, and Keiko just finishing up that roster. I think it's going to be real scary. I think Keiko was actually in one of these teams qualifying here, if I'm not incorrect, and Apex was like, okay, that guy looks good on the duelist. Let's pick him up. And I think Keiko will definitely be one of the players to look out for.
I think all in all, like as much as you're talking about like Apex and having incredible players on that roster, not to take anything away from them, I think it's actually quite a highlight to the diversity as well within the region, because we're talking about, you know, Apex, but then we're looking at teams that don't actually have an org. Like Vamonos, he said it themselves. They, at the moment, do not have an org, and they came in the Beacon, and they had such an incredible performance. And that's FOKUS, for example, last year as well. They're one of the teams who did not have an org. We put them at the bottom of the list. We're like, yeah, this is not going to work. And then they came in, and they blew away everybody's expectations, finishing third. So if anything, I think it's really important to take that into consideration as well. Like, yeah, we have amazing teams, but just the experience, the diversity within the region itself is something to look forward to. And if anything, this first game, FOKUS against HSDIRR, is already a testament to that, because we're saying, yeah, FOKUS, every single person is voting for FOKUS except Kremer. I don't know if you know something that we don't. If you have the different script that we have, could you share it? We just want to have a look for scientific purposes. But
yeah,
if anything, it highlights it.
Yeah, I think Kremer probably has that. You know, in CS you have HLTV confirmed, so I think Kremer has some inside knowledge in VLR.gg. So maybe that's the thing. I don't know. That could definitely be a thing. And just from the first 5 rounds, I think HSDIRR, they definitely have a chance here. Sure, it's their own map pick, but Ascent, when we go there, I think that should be a solid like even playground for both of these teams. I don't think it should favor too much on either of these sides unless you have some funky comps, unless FOKUS can maybe run that triple initiator. I think it's a hard comp to run. You have to like so heavily focus on getting ground, get that mid control and run it really well. Like I think it was Loud who did it in Champions and Leviathan. I'm just so interested to see where we're gonna go in Ascent, especially now that we are back in Pearl. I think this is gonna be really, really interesting, and I think the momentum might have even reset it in this technical pause.
Yeah, 2-3 so far. I'm not gonna lie, I have the memory of a goldfish. So, was it like this, MP? Can I copy your notes?
Yep. Yeah. Yes. Oh, Lear trying to go in, but gets instantly denied by the Killjoy Nanoswarm. I like this. I like that HSDIRR, they are looking for a different type of approach. Getting that control of B linked. They still have the lockdown available. Look how far they have forced FOKUS's backline.
Yeah, Lewis does find a first pick. Ale is no longer in the picture, and Lyra, as well as Fredden, with the 2 picks, 1 pick each, maybe a 2 in total. Sorry guys, maths, I'm gonna say it like a lot of times, it's not my strong suit. Counting is not what I'm good at. But FOKUS are looking to clap back. They want to equalize the playing field. They need 1 more player from the side of HSD, and then it's equal. But if anything, they want to close in on HSD, who has a spike. And they're happy. They're just okay. Everybody's just sitting at this point. They're just waiting for one team to peek the other.
Yes, they are in a pickle. Lear, is he gonna go through? Oh, Fredon is the one who picks both of these players, and he opens up the map completely. Yugi with this operator, and we were talking about the operator a little bit. He has to do so much work right now.
Yeah, but then you also have the Astro Smokes, which are going to cut off the lines of sight. So he has to come out of the smoke, so he's gonna be revealed. They're not fully aware of his position just yet, but he's looking to get a pick. But again, you need to take into consideration the fact that the spike has just been planted, so therefore he's gonna find one. Nobody even traded it out. Nobody was looking. Yes, the Killjoy bot finds him. Molotov is gonna be activated, and he does get tagged, but still at 99 HP, which is looking pretty comfortable.
Yeah, he doesn't know where Vicious is. He knows that Fredon is in A main, but has no clue about the other player. Smoke coming in, but Vicious first shot into the head, capitalizing that null command for next round as well. They even saved the lockdown. It's gonna be real interesting. Rough round coming for FOKUS because they have to go for a save round. KB said going for a Guardian without shields, maybe.
Yeah, and also the operator has been now picked up by Lair, who also has that Blaze Storm online. So if anything, that operator being dropped by Yugi after getting that pick, he tries to go for the defuse, and I respect the efforts, but it was potentially not the correct course of action.
KB said actually sticking with the Guardian.
Yeah, why not? What's wrong with the Guardian?
Probably not the best weapon for
is your friendship with the Guardian? Yeah, but you're not that. You're not Kepset, you know.
No.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, fair point.
I mean, you're casting, otherwise you'd be playing.
0-6, haven't gotten a kill in this match, and going for Guardian, that would be a death sentence for me. Maybe
you gotta
it's
believe.
A difference for Kepset.
Take flight.
You see, like you're putting yourself on the Guardian, okay, and you like now you're like feeling it, okay. Lewis is gonna spot out one player, but again, mid is being contested by both of these teams, and it feels like HSD are feeling comfortable just making noise mid and then retreating to a different site. And this time around, once again, it's gonna be B. Yugi is ready and waiting. Ooh. He's gonna dink him, but it's not gonna be enough. Reeden still lives though. But that was incredibly close. That's 5 HP, like literally 5 HP, and low command being activated. Yugi has to go back into safety. He's looking to get another pick, spotted out by Ali.
30 seconds left.
And that's a plant going down.
Spike planted.
we've seen this one before from
Yeah, we
Yugi
have.
with a Vandal previously, but this time only Seraph in the hand. All 5 alive for both teams. Never mind, not anymore. 3 vs 5. All of a sudden on Lear, it's just going for the picks. Doesn't quite connect, but Operator still in hand. Double smokes in front. They cannot see the spike. Can they still delay the defuse?
Players are dropping like flies, and there's a lot of util coming out from the side of FOKUS. They are managing to get themselves on site, and now it's Lynxy left with 17 HP. Everyone else is incredibly low, but what do these sheriffs do? My sheriff doesn't do that, man.
Surprise, surprise. FOKUS getting a 3rd round on the board. On a well, you cannot really say it's an eco when you have a Guardian, but still, it's mostly a save round. Mostly an eco. And maybe they should go for more of these ecos, because last time around, on that 3rd round, that was when they had only 1 rifle, and they almost won that round. They kind of threw it in the end, but FOKUS maybe getting that momentum a little bit back for their side. You cannot really call it a momentum quite yet, but if they could get the snowball rolling. Yugi, once again with the Operator.
Yeah, you guys, the Operator invested once again. Lyra gets spotted out early on. Aggression from both of these teams is slowly picking up pace. So initially, like, the aggressive positioning that we have right now from Yugi on B, like, he's ready to pick up any player that decides to commit. Lockdown's being committed, Prowler sending out, some information being gathered, but if anything, you're forcing the members of FOKUS away from the site. You're going to be able to get your team onto there. You're going to be able to clear out the backside, get the flank down, reposition.
Face your fear!
And even the Nightfall is being committed. Like, HSD are throwing everything in the kitchen sink at this one.
Yeah, they want us to control so much of this A side, even A link. They do not want to get stuck in A main, and the retake is gonna come through, but Purple gets dealt with instantly. 4 vs 5 situation. Lime getting some shots in, but another Cosmic Divide.
Oh, the Cosmic Device making it so much more difficult for them to get onto site. Yugi and Kipset, though, they managed to capitalize off of it. Lewis added to the mix. Fredden is the only one left. Has a little bit of util, but they're sticking it. Eventually, the Killjoy Molly does do, but it's halfway, and he's not fully aware that Astral Divide is making it so much more difficult for them to peek. It's gonna drop eventually, and as he goes for it, Kipset takes him out. And it's FOKUS that come out on top. 4-4, equalizing it. And I think we got a game on our hands.
Yes, we do.
Hey.
We're questioning whether folks can come back this momentum. I think the technical pause helped them so much. Getting 4 kills so quickly in that round. And Fredon, the only one left, knows exactly the positions. Knows, he saw, I think, KP set there, but doesn't quite get to connect that shot first. Now, HSDIRR, they are the one whose economy is in a shambles, especially if they lose this.
Yeah, it feels like the IRL economy is being brought into game. Sorry. We don't
Yes,
talk
it
about
does.
that. We don't talk about that.
Oh, Lear? I mean, yeah, you're flashed. You think you're behind the box. It seemed kind of awkward, but okay, he survives. Purple going for some aggression in double doors. They're actually doubling up with Yugi.
Yugi finds a pick, gets back into safety, and Fredden is stuck in the Killjoy util. This is disgusting to even watch. Lime picking up that kill. It's a freebie. If anything, the Prowler was giving away a little bit of information. HSD, they felt confident, and they're like, yeah, let's just push in. And no, there's a Killjoy setup. This is why people pick Killjoy.
Lime getting onto site, but his teammate can't quite follow yet. Ale gets taken out. It's a 2 vs 5. Vicious having to go to site with Lynxy, but they do not have any control. Just have to go for this duels. 4 players already challenging. There's not a chance. Lynxy actually gets 1 kill there. That's all they can get. And FOKUS takes the lead after what? It was 4 rounds for the board. Yeah, 4 rounds in a row for HSDIRR. Now they have to go for a force buy. Not full force, maybe more of a save round here with Stingers and Seraph. Lynxy could even pick up a rifle, and it does. But FOKUS, they seem scary. They have fixed all of the problems they had at the start of the round, and I think HSDIRR, they have to probably rethink their approach. I think their main approaches were pretty good, and they got a lot of ground from that, but the mid doesn't seem to work.
Yep. Continuous skirmishes happening in mid, giving FOKUS the opportunity to gain even more space, they get even more pressure, they're continuously coming out on top when it comes to these trades, and HSDIRR are not getting the right plays off of these mid-skirmishes. Just abandon it, rotate, leave the operator. Yugi's gonna fire a warning shot, it's not gonna connect, you have all your members left, book it, call it a day.
Killjoy setup, waiting for the whole
I mean, they pinged
team.
it. They're aware of it, it's pinged. They're gonna clear out the alarm bot. And you're isolating Lyra. That's a duelist gone. Entry onto site makes it so much more difficult right now.
That's disgusting setup. That is so good. No one can follow up even through the smoke. Now they have control. Or actually HSDIRR getting control of this link, but can they even enter to site?
It feels like a false sense of security. They're gonna be able to get onto site with the plant, but you have players waiting, you have the lockdown, so now that you have the plant down, how's FOKUS going to approach this? What we said earlier, where we have individuals pushing in, especially on that retake, they're now waiting for the rest of the team to arrive and for that Killjoy util before they try and go for the defuse. Which, when you're looking at the side of HSDIRR, they're in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah, Ale wrapping around to A main, but that should be too late.
Ooh.
Lewis leaning up everyone, and Ale, like I said, it's gonna be too late.
Yep, expected, red. And this is patience coming out from FOKUS. This is discipline. This is what we lacked in the first few rounds when we were looking at them and when we were looking at their performances. When we saw individuals going in, they're like, oh, I'm in the right position. Let me just go for that flank. Let me go for the peak. Whereas they don't wait to get traded. But now, especially this round, after the plant has been going down, they wait for every single member to get onto the site. They wait for the Killjoy lockdown to flush the HSDIRR players off of site. And that's when they play for the retake. And not only that, they're also watching out for the flank because they expected Ale to pull it off.
Yeah, and they actually get a little bit lucky with the lockdown because every one of the HSDIRR players are stacked in A link. None of them are in A main. And when you have 4 players in art, one of the players have to rotate, and Ale does that. Maybe even 2 players should rotate, but it's way too late. All 3 players are already dead. They are too far gone. Even if they would have got into the site, even if Lewis didn't get all of those kills, I think it would have been so impossible to stop the defuse and get to the site just to cover that plant.
Plan's been covered. The HSD are calling the timeout. It feels like, as you said, they were in the lead. They had 4 rounds back-to-back, and FOKUS has managed to grab the momentum, grab the rounds by the horns, turn them into their own favor. And FOKUS, they've been improved so much in terms of switching it up. A lot of the times at the beginning from FOKUS, we would see Yugi onto B side. He's looking to get picks on B long, but now he's happy to turn it operator around. Maybe a bit of mid. HSDIRR lose skirmishes mid, they back off of mid. FOKUS switched it around once again, and now they don't have a heavy focus on mid. It's A that they're focusing on. So it feels like a lot of these adaptations from FOKUS are coming in as they're required, and it's so great to see that all they need was like a little technical pause, you know?
Yes, it does. I really like how HSDIRR approaches this round. It seemed like a fake at first. They put so much utility onto A side, but most of it is utility that will refresh later on in the round. Now that's coming to the B side. There's still 1 player, Lynxy, left in A main, but he can play there all he wants. He can still place the stars across the map. Now it's B side under pressure. 3 players already close to B side.
Yeah, Flash coming out, they're gonna be spotting out Purple, but it's Kipset who goes for the pick instead. Vicious does find one, but Yugi and Lime are on a tear. Members are dropping like flies, and Lynxy's the only one left. He was not even close to the action, not even able to trade out any of their teammates. The spike, it's in FOKUS's lap. What is he gonna do?
Yugi probably saying nothing, and yes, he is saying Lynxy ain't doing nothing for this spike. 7-4. And looking for the last round of this half. HSDIRR, they are in a pickle on the economy side.
Yeah, FOKUS have just absolutely woken up.
Yeah, for sure. Yugi with 18 kills. None of these players from the side of HSDIRR even reaches 10. Yugi has 18, double the amount that Lynxy has, the best fragger for HSDIRR right now. And you can see, I think right here, you can see the difference in talent, in the confidence for the side of FOKUS. I think Yugi, especially, he has so much experience to even play in tier 1 level. it's so much easier to play here for him, so much confidence, and he doesn't miss those shots. He doesn't lose those 1v1 situation often.
Not the Killjoy setup again. It feels like time and time again HSDIRR is looking to push onto this Killjoy setup. They trigger the alarm, but they don't get rid of it. They get caught by it. Cosmic Divide this time around is going to cut off some of these angles, and Kipset looks to go for that initial push, but the Astral Cosmic Divide just comes down immediately and says, not today. You know, you might not be able to curve a bullet, but the Cosmic Wall can stop it.
Yes, it can. For a second, KP set one away from his Lear. Actually looking for entrance in Flowers by Yuki. Is there the crew? It actually misses this time.
And that's the Operator gone. It gives some form of motivation to HSD, and they gotta pick up every single member in a heartbeat. FOKUS is just taken out, and HSDIRR, they're back in the lead with this one, looking to close the gap a little.
7-5 half. It's not bad for HSDIRR. Well, now they have to go for the defensive side. I think FOKUS, they had great defensive side setups, especially on the side of Lime. I think Lime having just 4 kills, 3 assists, doesn't show how much he did for the defensive side. So many times when HSDIRR tried to approach like mid or art area, try to push, there was that Killjoy setup to isolate at least one of the players, where multiple times it was Purple, Yugi, whoever who was able to pick a kill from there and get that isolation kill and pretty much secure 5 versus 4 situation instantly, and that is exactly what I want to see for the side of HSDIRR as well.
Yeah, HSDIRR gonna have to bring out their best playbook on the defensive side now. Attack is over. A couple of lineups, love to see. Yuki dashing onto side immediately. Does get spotted out, and again, that util. Ale finds the first pick, opening up the round. Smoke's taken out of the equation. The side of FOKUS, but they have the plan down. It's now post-plan position, and instead of waiting, what we've seen from HSDIRR, FOKUS here, they flipped the script and they're going aggressive.
Yes, they are. Purple with the first contact, and he's not missing with that ghost. All of a sudden, in a heartbeat, it's 4 versus 2 situation, and it seems like FOKUS is gonna be securing this pistol round as well. Lynxy trying to make wonders happen there, but doesn't quite get that. Lime is there to equalize that round. 8-5. And FOKUS, they are closing up to that double digits.
Yeah, FOKUS with the second pistol round in their pocket, it's maybe not what HSDIRR has expected, because when HSDIRR was playing on the attack, once they have the plan down, they move into post-plan positions and they wait for FOKUS to push into them. FOKUS is playing very proactively. They're getting onto that site, they get the plan down, they're like, we're gonna get more space, we're gonna get more pressure, we're gonna get more heads to click, and that's exactly what they do.
Here.
Lime actually having 3 bulldogs for the side of FOKUS. They're doing like a half FPX. Just investing good amount.
You call it half FPX.
Investing good amount of rifles here, where you can...
Yeah.
Yugi? Kill?
Okay. Yeah, Vicious got spotted out. That's the flash, but he doesn't play off of it. Yugi aware fully of Vicious' position, is gonna go for the peek. Gets the first one. Spots another member, he knows.
Look at rest of FOKUS.
The rest of FOKUS on the other side of the map, and every single member from HSDIRR has been pulled towards B side. They get the free site, they get the free plant, and most likely they're gonna be doing what they did last time, and that is play proactively.
Yeah, Lou is already aware that this flank could be happening because the Killjoy turret is not online, but Ale is the one who picks Lewis off. 30 HP left, Bulldog gathered. 3 players still left for the side of FOKUS, and Cape said he knows exactly where Ale is coming. He knows that the Bulldog has to be taken out, and he does. 3 players coming from Flowers, approaching the A site, but they do not know where FOKUS is.
They're not expecting them to be wrapping around. You have that Killjoy util, which is making them all focus onto Lime, but in the background, Purple and Lime are chilling. Yes, the turret gave away potential information that they could be towards A main, but that's not the case. It's Flowers, it's CT that you have to keep an eye on. And it's these mind games from FOKUS that are just making HSDIRR just go confused, to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the decision making right there for FOKUS, the micro decision making, just doing that call mid-round, while you still have space is really good. You did it previously, you won from that situation, and now you did it again, and you won again from that situation. Obviously, you lose 2 of the 3 bulldogs, which is kind of expensive. I don't think they will be investing into this round. I mean, I'm going for rifle, emptying out the bank. It's weird for me, but okay, whatever.
Whatever indeed. Mid focus again. Focus going for that mid focus. Whoopsie. Trying to get that control, but this time around it feels like HSDIRR is expecting it. They have at least 1 member standing there, and with Yugi taking out, I feel like that's a lot of confidence from the side of Focus that has been taken away, because how instrumental has he been in getting these early picks?
Yeah, he's so important. Just getting that round, getting the picks. Yuki, I think he's closing on 20 kills. If not, he's not already there. That could be a thing. Good push from the A lobby side, getting that kill shot threat down from the side of HSDIRR, but it's the battle in B Link that takes almost all of Focus's players out. 3 players all in a stack. Maybe that's even 4 players in double doors, and it seems like Lewis is there to be the 5th one.
Yeah, I mean, he has a Sheriff and a Dream and a Spike. And he has information and a forehead from Linksy that he clicks on. Which means he's now able to get onto A site. He's upgraded. He's not fully aware of their position as of yet. Does have the arrow available, looking to clear it out a little. But this is where Lyra and Ali need to play together. This is some of the mistakes that we've seen from Focus, but also from HSDIRR, is where when you're in a 2v1, you peek individually. We've seen these a lot, especially this game already. And this is what they need to play off of. They need to play together. He finds 1! And he's also now fully aware of Lyra's position. Lyra comes out on top, quicker to the trigger. That's gonna allow him to get that defuse.
That is a hard angle to pick. Lewis has to be aware of the elevation that the stairs bring in, and he cannot even back to A main because the spike is planted on backside. He knows that Lyra might have that dash where he can even just instantly dash to the backside, go for the defuse, and he would be in a pickle just having to go for the duel. That's an expensive round for the side of HSDIRR. Really, really good for the round for the side of Focus. And I think right now, looking how the round went, I'm all good with Lion picking up that rifle. Obviously, he has to go for the Bulldog in this round, but getting so much damage done for the side of HSDIRR that they have to go with 4 Guardians and half shields is well enough for their rifle.
Yep. And it looks like Focus, they're pretty chilling. Like, the chain... Oh my goodness. I regret saying the word chilling just because you just said that. I'm gonna pretend like the last 10 seconds of like this broadcast just does not happen, and I'm gonna like forget about it, and instead I'm gonna focus on the fact that HSDIRR are pushing out aggressively onto B, getting information that there is no push on there as of yet, allowing both Fredden and Linksy to play towards the back of mid and A, not forcing them to overextend, and at the same time denying Focus any sort of information to be gathered. Because no one's gonna get tagged out by the knife. There you go.
Yeah.
They don't know where anyone is.
They know that they have good ground of the map, but they have no clue about the enemy positions. And I mean, HSDIRR, they are doing the classic, trying to make some plays with the KO Fade and Jet, and holding down one side with the Killjoy and Astra, getting that utility like Fredden. Perfect timing.
Fredden does manage to hear a couple of footsteps, so is aware of the fact that they're pushing, but look at Kipset. Kipset has been left to look out for the flag, because this is a mistake that HSDIRR made, and Focus does not want to make them. Turret's gonna spot out a couple of players. Ooh, Fredden's not gonna hit a couple of these shots, and Lime is the one to come out on top. Yes, a lot of HP down from the side of Purple, but now Lockdown is available. Lockdown's available and it's gonna be used. And HSDIRR had a little bit of a pickle. Your boy Lewis coming out with 1, make it another. And Ali does find a pick across the map, but 2 players left from the side of HSDIRR. This is scary.
Yes, it is. The pull is still there. Gravity well. Is it gonna be used? Yes, it is. Dart spots that no one is on the spike, and the defuse, it should be impossible. And Lewis makes it that. Makes it impossible. Ale trying to save this Guardian, but no chance when Purple is on your tail. There's nothing to save, and FOKUS actually getting the double digits right now. 2 rounds away from that secured overtime.
Purpo on the case, Lewis on the case, Yugi on the case, Lime. It feels like every single player has stepped up to the plate. We were saying earlier before the pause how we were a little worried. All we've seen really was Yugi getting early picks and the team not being able to convert that into a lead. But now it's every single player from this team, every single player on the roster has decided that this is the first game we're playing. We got this. I don't know what kind of motivational speech they heard. I would love to know, like, what's going on. But it looks like a different team.
Yeah, absolutely. HSDIRR, they have only got 2 rounds after that technical pause. Meanwhile, FOKUS have been getting them, catching all of them like Pokemons. It was a kind of cringe reference, but
Please stop.
we'll go
How
with
old
it.
are you?
Okay,
Obscuring
like
vision.
15.
Bro, you look like 45.
Yo, that's a
Sorry.
violation.
That right there is a violation. Anyway, Blade Storm. Go. Kill.
That is gonna be the win condition. That should get a lot of kills, or I don't think HSDIRR should stand a chance in this round.
Yep. It's a lot relying right now on Lear and their ability to pick off a player. If anything, they have to clear all the corners, and it feels like HSDIRR are 5 members all onto site, but they're a little too scared to commit. Right click is not gonna do much, but Linksy eventually does find the pick off on Yugi, allowing to upgrade himself to a well-deserved Vandal. Ooh, Lear's wings get clipped quite early by Lime. Purpo also on the case, and it feels like they're struggling so hard. Vicious finds 1, but it's not gonna be enough. The eco round from HSDIRR is not gonna do much, but take down 2 members of FOKUS, who, by the looks of it, they got some cash to splash.
Oh yeah, they're stacking the bank right there. FOKUS even had a Hunter's Fury online if they wanted to use right there, but they don't have to. They don't have to commit that. You can just duel 4 versus 4. HSDIRR having good ultimates in the upcoming round. Let's see whether they are actually good enough to retake. FOKUS, I think they were great at it. They were really good locking down those sites, having great plans when they wanted to retake. And just the timing's utility was pretty much perfect. Can HSDIRR do the same?
Can they, will they, should they? The questions to be answered. Hunter's Fury and Null Command are both invested this round simultaneously from both teams. They're looking to just close this out as quickly as possible. Linksy hiding in the smoke has not been checked. A little scary, but Fredens does get taken out. That's 1 member down from the side. HSDIRR, the elevation from Yugi does allow them to spot out a few more players. The gravity wall is going to make it a little bit difficult for them to reposition, but that's alright. Because as of now, FOKUS, they're in the lead. Ooh,
Yeah,
Lewis.
Fredon dying there doesn't make it any easier. The lockdown is gone and Lewis is being a menace. Ale with 1 HP, Lime is there to punish, and HSDIRR, they just have to save. Operator, Vandal in hand, having to go for a save at 11-6. They have to go for 6-round win streak to even tie it out and get to OT.
Sounds difficult. I mean, we've seen it before, but it feels like HSDIRR are struggling with a couple of the fundamentals that I think are a little worrying. They do manage to take 1 gun out of the hands of Lewis. That's the Vandal gone, but Lime! With it 180! Not only is the operator gone, Vicious's head is gone too!
No way.
Yeah, way!
At the first half, it seemed like Fredon was the killjoy to be afraid of in terms of aim. Lime had really good setups. I loved the setups that Lime had as a killjoy, but I think his aim wasn't on fire on the first half. But look at this. 1 bullet. Was that 1 bullet when he flicked? It's still amazing. Amazing turnaround.
Amazing turnaround indeed. 1 more round left from FOKUS. Linksy finds the first pick. That's Lewis gone, and Lewis has had such a big impact on the game so far, not just on the lurk, but also just beautiful, beautiful gunplay from FOKUS that we've seen today. Just all in all, a lot of headshots and a lot of haircuts being given. Maybe you should play against him. You said you needed a haircut, so like, yeah.
To be fair, like, you got a point, but you didn't have to say it, you know?
Sorry.
It's
not
okay,
like
I guess.
my job is to talk.
I guess. Lear? Well, his job is to shoot, and he does it well.
So does
Getting
Lindsay.
one as well. Yeah. All of a sudden,
only-
the focus round it's dismantled.
Yeah, 2 players left from the side of FOKUS, and it feels like this round for them has not come to any fruition, because as of now, 3 members down, 40 seconds on the clock, and I need to get this plant. Feels like it's going to be a little bit more difficult than expected. Kipsite coming around to support Purpo. It's on these two. We've seen what they're capable of, but Linksy waiting on the back of site. Clean 1 taps. Absolute flawless round coming out from HSDIRR. And they're closing the gap just a little.
Yeah, good round coming in, and they only have to invest 1 of the ultimates. That's null command coming from Vicious. FOKUS, good ultimates coming up, but like we were talking about previously, HSDIRR, they still have really good retake ultimates. Last time around, Fredan died prematurely. It shouldn't happen when you're playing for retake, when you have such good ultimates, when you have Lockdown, Nightfall, Cosmic Divide. You cannot be dying as a Killjoy. You cannot be dueling that backside solo. And if HSDIRR, if they can fix that, if they can go for that retake with all of these ultimates, it should be fairly decent, depending how much FOKUS having to use to get the control of site.
Yeah, one thing though with the lockdown available from Lime, I think we've seen a lot of very useful lockdowns coming out from Lime specifically just in terms of using it to flush out the members of HSDIRR out of sight. Whereas when we're looking at HSDIRR, I feel like Fredan hasn't really had the opportunity to use the lockdown as of yet, simply because Lewis would have the Hunter's Fury available, is able to get rid of it. So therefore, the lockdown is going to play a crucial role, especially when combined with the Cosmic Divide, the Nightfall available for HSDIRR. But it's a matter of can they execute it, because on the other side of FOKUS, they also have 3 ultimates available.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Yugi, does he pop those Blade Storms? I think it would help, but obviously you have money for a rifle. You probably shouldn't, just for the sake of economy. If they keep on losing few rounds, they should have still a vibe because of Blade Storm. Good contest in mid for the side of HSDIRR, and FOKUS just wanting to pressure this.
Yeah, mid is once again coming back into contest, and Vicious gets spotted out. They are aware of certain positions of players, and that's the Nightfall.
Wow.
Coming out from the side of HSDIRR. That's actually quite early that they've invested it. They're able to tag a couple of players with it, but there is no play off of it. No one is looking to get picks off of this information. But if anything, it gives them a breather. It gives them some time to regroup and figure out which parts of the map need to be reinforced.
Yeah, it seems like they actually played that Nightfall just to get control of B main, or B link rather, back again. But now that's giving it up. They're playing with the Killjoy turret only. No one at the side of A, just pushing up Art, maybe challenging Purpo, and yes, they do. Not only challenge, they kill him. Ale? Can he get a second one?
Yugi with the Blade Storm is absolutely unaccounted for. Already 2 players down, and Knife's the only thing in use. I know you said about popping it early on, considering the economy, but so far, it really has been a great return on the investment. It's going to be able to dash onto side. Oof, Lyric gets Lewis out of the equation, and that gives FOKUS the time to plant. Not only that, but there's 2 Killjoy lockdowns to counter out each other. There's a Cosmic Divide. I'm sorry, observers, but that's a lot of things to cover at the same time.
Oh, they spam it through dugout. And they actually get a good round to retake this. Lime taken out by Yugi still. 3k.
Oh, Yugi with a 4k. Make this a 5k if he can. He misses the knives. Unfortunately, Vicious is the one to end his dreams and hopes. That is so incredible to see in the plant. It's gonna be diffused. But that was so close, yet so far.
That was so smooth. The 4th kill was clean. But then the right click. I think it's a right click in the end that misses. Vicious will be able to take this one down.
2. Let's see if it's a right click. Yeah, that's a right click. Does not quite connect.
Is this Curse of Yugi? Getting 4k and losing the round? Second time in this map already. Vicious, who hasn't had the greatest of games, only 7 kills.
He killed when it mattered.
Round. Yeah, impact frags, right? That's what I always tell to my ranked teammates.
Oh, that's not gonna destroy Killjoy setup that's there.
The nanoswarm gets taken out, but instantly replaced by another one.
Yep, love Killjoy. White Killjoy happy.
My favorite sprays. White Killjoy.
We should get a white MP spray or like emo.
Yo,
that would be really
that's
funny.
default. That's default.
Yeah. That's not nice. Lear has the operator and is looking down B main. It's just a matter of a little peek and your head is gone. He's gonna take out the Sova drone and that means that location will be revealed. He's gonna use a dash. Is gonna be able to spot one player. Ooh! Although the cape and the shoulder from Sova peeks out, it's not gonna be enough to get the pick off. But he's aware of the aggression. He finds the first gives that he gives him the opportunity to get the Blade Storm online, looking to fire another shot, but Ale is there to assist. Yugi manages to take him down. Fredden on the trade immediately. Lewis with the wall bang. Vish is no longer in the equation. That makes it a 3v2. HSDIRR are in the lead, but they still have to play this retake and make that lead gone as Lewis is the one popping off. He finds one. The blind comes through. Lewis wants to make it another, but it's not enough. He doesn't have enough ammo. Looking to bait them with the blind. He has only 4 seconds left. One more player. If Ali doesn't peek this, he has to go for it right now. But Ali comes out on top. And that is HSDIRR once again closing out these rounds so closely.
It's getting close. This is exactly what we were fading for the first match of Polaris. For the first match of VALORANT Challenger League Northern Europe of Polaris. I got it right, I think, but...
Yeah, you got it right. VALORANT Challenger League Northern Europe Polaris.
It's a mouthful.
FT, MP, and Genie.
Yeah, anyone can try practice at home. It's not the easiest. Hit me up when you've done that. I think Genie would even give a riot gun buddy.
Yo, anyways, so Prowler sent out a main. Some information being gathered. Lear this time around, he's the one pushing up quite aggressively, looking to get early information back to the team. And this is going to allow the rest of their teammates, once again, to focus more towards the A site. Because he is going to be able to give them information early on whether or not B is under attack.
Yeah, solid push from the side of Lear. Just holding that B main control. Focus. Are trying to go for the art control, just trying to deny this Killjoy utility. It feels like in this meta, the Killjoy utility in mid and art area, or like rather both of the links, is going to be the focus point. It's going to be the focus point, especially for these Sovas to learn lineups and just destroy that utility. 45 seconds on clock, it's not too much, but when you're starting to stack on that A side, they have no help for those two players.
Yeah, they're pinching in from both sides, and it feels like this time around for HSDIRR it's looking a little difficult. Lynxy, though, does make it even more difficult for Focus. Lyman, your boy Lewis, though, eventually clap back, and that equalizes the playing field in terms of the numbers. With the spike down, time is Focus's best friend. It's a matter of letting it run down. And Lewis does manage to dodge to Molly, but still 35 HP left. Vicious and Fredden are on the case. Gipset is the only one remaining and gets taken out, and that's double digits in the back for HSDIRR.
They're closing in. When we look at the economy of Focus, I think they might have a buy in the next round because they have lost so many rounds in a row. And the spike plant bonus, but it's not going to be the best one. Yeah, no. Everyone, almost everyone under 4k. If Lewis could have gotten away from that site, fallen back with that 35 HP, he could have maybe utilized the Hunter's Fury, but no, having to challenge that back site is just... It's not good for him. He cannot really make any other decisions in that situation. And I like this decision for Focus. They just have to go for a full buy on the last round of this, well, this first map, maybe.
Potentially.
It could be the last round, the 24th.
We've said that for like 5 rounds at this point, and it feels like it's just not going to be the last round because Focus, HSDIRR, they're dealing so well with their aggression. There go, aggressive peeks from Ale, finds the first pick, Lynx finds the second, Yugi does get a trade, gets 2 trades, but Fredden does shut him down eventually, which means only 2 players left, Sheriff's in hand. They're able to get onto the A site. Where's the spike? HSDIRR is hugging that spike, they're not going to give it up. That means 11 to 12. MP, this is overtime. Almost.
Don't say it yet. Oh, yeah.
Gas Trickers?
It could be. One away from overtime. HSDIRR, they have done the pretty much impossible 6 rounds in a row. If they can win that 6th round, it's gonna be really impressive. It's gonna bring up so much momentum for them for the overtime. And FOKUS, they might be in shambles. Yugi closing in on 30 kills. Meanwhile, on the other side, Lynxy having 20. Yugi just, I think his back is hurting already. Surely.
Maybe he has like a really good
4K
chair.
rounds. Hopefully.
Yep, but they didn't win those rounds, so that's unfortunate.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a curse.
It must be rough for the mental when you gotten 2 4Ks and you don't win that round.
Blame empathy.
Yeah, that's probably fair point.
I'll blame you.
You always do. When I get the 4K and you can't get the one.
Anyway,
Yo.
the Sova lineups have actually been very good at getting rid and negating some of that Killjoy utility. But if anything, the Killjoy utility is continuously deterring the teams from pushing onto site, and because we see what happens when you do push through 2 Killjoy mollies, you get separated from your team. Okay, Hunter's Fury. Ollie's looking to shut this down early on, but Lewis, the timing as he backs off. He's now in a little bit of a pickle. He does find Yugi, though. Still has to fight for his life to get out of this, and that's exactly what he does. Lewis gets taken out. Purpo down as well from the side of Fredden. Nice fall of eventually is going to be invested, but it's a little too late. Last player standing, and Kipset has to deal with it with Fredden. Fredden says not today. Lockdown thrown at it. Everything going into this round, and now it's the overtime that we have to deal with.
Ale getting a lot of momentum, a lot of confidence. I don't know how this guy does it. I actually got the pleasure of playing alongside Ale in the Blast Spike Nation, and he's insane at this game. You can see the Fade. Like, you're playing Fade. Look at this double support. Well, controller, yeah, sure. You're leading the pack with 20 and 19 kills.
That's a good amount of kills. That's a dream. One
Yes,
day.
it is.
One day. One day you'll get that many kills, MP. But not today.
Maybe. I'm more looking at the 13 assists. That's how I get them. And I'm usually the Brimstone that just diminishes my duelist, so that's how I get the assists, you know?
Wow, you're such a nice person. Oh my goodness.
Sometimes.
Can you like hear the sarcasm?
No.
Oh, flashing out. Oh, none of these shots are gonna land. Vicious finds one, gets traded out immediately, 1 for 1. Both KOs are out of the equation for both of these teams. But FOKUS now has quite a clear indication to what site HSDIRR wants to commit to.
Yeah, the Killjoy Astro setup waiting here. They do not have a lot of utility, but they don't need that.
They have Kipset in his crosshair, that's all they need. Lime takes one himself, and now it's just Lynxy left all by himself to fend, to try and get this round on the board. But you have Yugi, you have Lewis, you have Lime. Every single one of these players waiting for the assistance from the other ones of the team. This is beautiful to see, because at the beginning what we said, MP, was FOKUS were going in individually.
Yeah, and it was
And now
exactly
they're waiting.
Lynxy who won that.
Yeah. Does history repeat itself? Because he does find the first, he finds the second,
Surely not.
and that
Cosmic
gives him the
Divide.
Cosmic Divide. But that's gonna cut off the sound cue. He didn't hear that Spike has been tapped. He's gonna play this. He's gonna make some noise, and Yugi's gonna find him immediately. What a round.
This time around, it's not Yugi who gets the 4K. It's not Yugi who starts the round. It's the Killjoy and Astra setup waiting for HSDIRR. Yugi is there to finish the round. Make sure that Lynxy doesn't get another highlight. Somehow this guy is able to win these 1 versus X situations. And even with the frenzy, closing out to your boy Lewis. That's insane. I believed in Lynxy. But Yugi is just stronger. 2 kills away from that 30. I'm picking up Operator without any armor.
Oh, that is very confident, and I love to see that. Purple goes for the flick. Immediately takes off Ollie's head. Fade taken out. And that's a good opening.
That's a really good opening. But so is this. Evening out the odds, getting that spike, getting the information where KPZ is as well.
And this
Makes
gives Fredden
Fredden-
the confidence.
Yeah. Interesting. Fredan has been on fire. The ranked demon.
They're gonna pass each other. And Fredden is the one to come out on top. Operator no longer there.
What?
But Lime with the wall bang does find their counterpart. Killjoy down. That's a bit of a Killjoy and Killjoy violence. But now A site is the one that FOKUS has their eyes on.
2 orbs away from null command and lockdown for the side of FOKUS. They could farm the orb. They could get the spike plant for that player as well and get an ultimate out of that. But Vicious is holding. He wants to get the kill before they enter the side. Delay is there. Fragment comes in, but Purple is going for it.
Purple just pushes right too, but that does mean that Vicious is able to get one pick off on Lime. Kipsit gets the trade, but still, there's a 2-on-2. The spike has to go down. 18 seconds on the clock, and Lynxy has not been cleared. He's playing out of his own smoke. It's gonna drop. He sees the gun barrel. He sees both of them. He's gonna be able to take on Purple, and as he goes for the plant, Kipsit has to get his weapon out, but there's not enough time. Lynxy finishing it off, equalizing it once again. 13-13.
Well
Okay, Lear.
divided.
Lynx is so calm and collective.
Yeah, he's
I
like
love
easy.
how he
Just
plays
another day in
those
the
situations.
office.
Switching sides.
There's no panic. I'm sure if we saw a cam of Lynxy, it would probably look like a frozen picture. He's
Do you
so
know,
calm,
like,
collective.
when you said no panic, do you know what I thought of? You know that that meme of like stonks, and then the guy like puts his head up and he goes like panic. That's why. Yeah, I don't know why I shared that. Sorry.
Fair. I probably someone in the chat will know.
You
And they will
don't know
cringe.
the stonks meme?
I think I know what what you are talking about. I think.
Go
but
back to
I-
talking about Valorant. Shut
I
up.
cannot confirm or deny.
You just don't. Anyway, HSDIRR timeout. I want to talk about Valorant instead because I'm disappointed in you as a human being.
Yo, is that one our production actually posted?
They paused it
lot
because
of
they wanted
fun.
to get off the mic.
Fair. HSDIRR timeout. Lynxy probably giving some motivation for his team. I hope so. Ale and Lynxy, I think they have been pretty good backbone for the side of HSDIRR. Yeah, you have had good performance for the side of Fredan. Vicious has had some really good impact frags, and Lear just entering down to those sides. But I think Lynxy and Ale show is in full force in this last 8 rounds or so.
And this is aggression on aggression. They're looking to get a pick early on, but it's FOKUS that find Ale, gets blinded and has to turn his back on Yugi. Yugi is ready. This is the aggression that we've seen from FOKUS that has given them momentum time and time again. So HSDIRR now, they need to find the answer to this aggression, which so far, they have done eventually. It just took them a little time, but you're in overtime. You don't have time. As much as it says time in overtime. Okay, I'm gonna shut up.
That's probably good idea at this point, but
Yo, thanks man. Appreciate it.
HSDIRR, they are regrouping at A main. There's only one player waiting for them, KPZ.
Yeah,
Now
but
is
KPZ
not
has
the
done so
time.
much.
Yeah, now it's not the time to lose a player. Yeah, he gets the information, backs off. He just wants to take a clear retake, but it's Purple on the same level.
Yeah, Purple is looking for maybe potentially a hero play. He does back up eventually. Kipset does find first. Yugi finds the second. FOKUS are in the lead. Kipset gets another. Vicious is the only one left. Make that Lynxy. And as much as we said Kipset was the only one on side, genuinely he was the only one who was needed.
Switching sides.
Pretty much. FOKUS, they seem to be so good on this defensive side. Like, it was even the first half, when FOKUS was
Yeah.
gaining ground, they were gaining that momentum back. It seemed like no one would stop them. And once again, in overtime, the stumbling block comes in attacking side. And it's weird because Yugi is popping off with 30 kills. When your main duelist is popping off like that, you would imagine that it's probably on the attacking side, right? Getting those entries. But no, it's not only that.
They're blind with fear.
It's now onto HSDIRR. And again, they're looking to gather information out from mid. But it feels like they don't push up aggressively enough like we've seen from FOKUS in terms of on B and on A to get an off angle to get early information. And that just leaves them sitting, waiting for FOKUS to make the first move. FOKUS so far has been happily doing so. Lynxie finds one, finds another. Lime eventually gets the trade, but that's already 2 members down. Ollie has to go through the molly. A little bit of damage, but not too much. And HSDIRR, they're playing as a unit. They're playing for trades. They're playing for picks.
Yeah, for this round. Good picks. Makes FOKUS the underdog. Lime clearing out this A side. Good knife coming in from the side of Vicious, but doesn't really spot anyone. So it's actually really, really unfortunate. He keeps shouldering that long area. So should be able to get the info, and he does. Let's see how HSDIRR react off of this. They do not want to commit too much into this B side, and Vicious actually just falling off.
30 seconds left.
He's gonna spot out Fredden, who also has a molly setup and a killjoy setup, which is quite a good setup to have. We're gonna have to back off, but this gives FOKUS an opportunity to go for the plant onto the site because they had initial information that there was not a single player there. The smoke's gonna drop, and Fredden is the one to be on top, even though Lewis was prepared, leaving Kivset to try and clean it up, but he's not enough either. Lime falls to... And that is HSDIRR with the fuse coming through. And a beautiful lockdown, very strategically placed.
Switching
Absolutely.
sides.
Fredden 3 kills on board, just clearing out every single one of those players that are left for the side of FOKUS on that post-plant situation. And I'm calling him the ranked demon because Fredden is exactly that. Last 8 seasons he has been radiant with I think it was top 40 where he peaked.
Wow.
As like
nice.
when the season had ended. And for me, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty damn good.
For me, that's never gonna happen.
My biggest flex is still the Radiant Company that I got in from season 2, episode 1, or wait, it was.
And it just went downhill from there, yeah.
Yeah, it did, and that was the easiest season to get the Radiant Company. But at least I have it. And once again, the shout out, if you want Riot Company, DM Genie.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry,
lying.
I'm sorry just to
Lying.
blow your DMs up.
It's fine. You're lying. You know, like you're not
Maybe a
allowed to
little
lie
bit.
on. You're not allowed to lie on the job, right? You know that.
I don't think that was in the contract.
No, it was. It's in the fine print at the bottom. You need to read it.
Oh, damn.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't read the contract at all. That's kind of tough then.
So you just signed without reading? Yo, that's a mistake.
Yep.
Okay. Well, now
that
we know.
happens.
Now we know who not to take advice from. But it
Please
feels like
do.
this... HSDIRR, they're moving as a one-man unit. We haven't seen them do this as of yet. Most of the time, they do have 1 or 2 players lurking, testing out the waters elsewhere. But this time around, they have a full man commit to B site. They're gonna flash Yugi. Yugi's gonna be able to dash into safety. Kipset gets the first pick. Killjoy is taken out of the equation. So is Ale. He takes Lewis down with him, but that's all that's it now for HSDIRR.
He's just looking for something, but KPZ is so aware of this. Not
they
actually
need
giving
to get
up the
that plant.
control. But look at this, Vicious getting so
Vicious.
much ground.
Vicious is unattested for. Purple finds one. Vicious finds another. He's just playing with FOKUS, but it doesn't matter because he's the only one left alive. They do spot him out eventually. And FOKUS again defusing. And this is the defensive side from FOKUS that we've seen that they've excelled in. So now...
Yeah, but the same thing could be said for HSDIRR. Both of them are winning in defensive side.
Match
What?
point.
I think, Genie, we have figured out which sided map this is, especially for these 2 teams.
Is it attack by any chance?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yugi. I'm just amazed that he's over 30, but we're closing in on 30 rounds already. That's kind of fair. Other
Yeah, I
people
love that
stepping
being
up
the
as well.
first cast of Polaris. Let's go.
Let's go. Like I said, when it was gonna go to overtime,
Yeah.
this is exactly how we wanted to start this. This is
Exactly.
exactly the game that you guys
Ooh.
deserve, and LA deserve. Getting that first pick onto Yugi, getting the monster out of
But
this
he-
round. But Purple?
Purple doesn't even need to see him to get
No.
the kill. He just throws a Molotov. He just does a molly.
Oh.
The fragment in the back of the site. Vicious does manage to trade out the player. Purple was a little too close for comfort. Lewis finds a pick. Make that a second. He's clicking heads. He's done this before. He's doing it again. Make that 3. Make that the 4th. And that's one way for FOKUS to close out this game We're taken to overtime, but still, individual performances, we said how important they were. We said they might not be everything, but in these rounds that count in overtime, they are so crucial.
Yeah, and especially on the attacking side where you need those rounds. You cannot really win any of those rounds in terms of team play. We've seen that already from multiple previous rounds, multiple previous overtimes. And I think the 4-kill curse, it's not on FOKUS, it's on Yugi, because Lewis dropping that 4K, winning out that round with purpose, good entry with the fragment. I mean, that's all you need. You need a good execute setup with good utility, and that fragment will do wonders, especially onto Ale, who's trying to duel that Amen and having to back off. And from that, Lewis is just going off, even getting the Hunter's Fury, but he's like, nah, I ain't using that, just going for the last 2 duels, getting that 4K. Beautifully played.
And it feels like when we're looking at FOKUS initially, it looked a little shaky, and HSDIRR, they started off strong, they lost their momentum, but they managed to find it again. And we said this quite early on as well, MP, where there's a lot of difference in terms of the experience that both of these teams have, and looking how far HSDIRR has been able to take FOKUS on HSDIRR's map pick, to be completely exact, is a little scary. Second map is going to be coming up, that's going to be FOKUS's map, it's going to be Ascent, and it brings the question as to, is Pearl the most confident map for HSDIRR? Or are they going to be able to put the same performance on a map that they didn't pick?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good question and good thing to look at when we come to later stages of this season as well, just to see the pinpoint of this upcoming map in Ascent, whether actually HSDIRR can compete against FOKUS in that map, or are they only as competitive in this Pearl, in this own map? Do they have to extend their map pool and just trying to focus into that? Because I think this was great from them. I wasn't expecting them to even bring it this close, even though, yeah, it's their map pick, and from the previous 3 maps that they have played in this Pearl, it looks good. But still, I think this was so much better than what I was expecting. A lot of props to Yugi on the side of FOKUS, but HSDIRR, Lynxy clutching out good rounds. Fredon was a really positive surprise for me, because you never know about these players that you haven't seen on the competitive scene earlier. Yeah, you know they're ranked demons, but how can they do in this level against FOKUS? And I think Fredon did really, really well.
Yeah, Yugi, I think that's the player that we highlighted from the beginning. He had an incredible game since round 1, since that first pistol round, and he's been able to carry it out through all the way around. He didn't get the 2 KDA as the expected MP, but still 1.8. I think that's incredibly impressive, and this shows the strength of the FOKUS roster, not just in terms of what they're capable of, but also how good they are at getting back if they're behind. Because we saw HSDIRR, they started off with 4 rounds back to back to back, and that breaks your momentum potentially, but that was not the case for FOKUS. They brought it back, they're able to secure it. It took them a while to close it out. We did go to overtime, which again is a testament to HSDIRR and the resilience that they have, but all in all, it was a great game to watch. Perfect first game for Polaris. Ascent is coming up next, and I think this does set the tone for what we can expect throughout the rest of the split.
Yeah, I hope so. I know these players, they are show people. They wanted to just come and show that we can do a lot of work. We can make a game close, but Ascent coming up to the second map, I think this is going to be we're just trying to clean it up. Talking about FOKUS, they just want to try to clean it up, take it a simple 2-0 and get that win under their belt. Obviously, the same thing for HSDIRR. They want to win that map and get to Icebox. But looking at that map, I think Ascent is going to be real tough for HSDIRR, but we'll come back to that later on. But I think amazing performances out of all of these individuals.
Yeah, that was it for Pearl. We have Ascension coming up next. FOKUS's map pick against HSDIRR, so don't go anywhere.